healthcare. I was in healthcare for about 8 years prior to transitioning into IntelyCare. And one of the reasons that got me into IntelyCare was my mom. So my grandmother passed away about six years ago. And after my grandmother passed away, my mom was now responsible for taking care of my dad. And she works, obviously, and my dad has glaucoma, he has early signs of dementia and all of that. And she always, every time he has to go to the doctors, she's always calling in sick while at work. So she's constantly calling in sick, and I can really see the burden on her. And my mom's a typical family caregiver. She's a typical family caregiver. Everyone in this room, at some point in their life, will be a family caregiver. You will take care of someone in your family. A family caregiver is one out of every 5 households is a family caregiver. They're providing care for a loved one. 60% of family caregivers work, just like my mom. They work about average 18 hours a week. And they're taking care of their loved one for about 18 hours a week. And 83% of family caregivers can't find respite care. So the question is always, what's the difference between respite care and home care? I hate to use this analogy, but I think respite care, home care, people who are just giving up. So you've given up, you're taking care of your loved one, you're like, you know what, I really can't do this anymore. So they outsource all the work. So you've outsourced all the work of caring for your loved one. So now it's an agency that does all the work. While respite care is very different. Families live with their care recipient. So it's like my mom taking care of my dad, my grandpa lives there. And the biggest difference is 2 billion hours of care provided every year by agencies, while 30 billion hours are provided by family caregivers, people like my mom. Sorry, Mom. Our solution, and the problem with home care is structured, extremely structured. So you have to need someone for certain hours every day. And our solution is a system that makes it extremely flexible, that makes it extremely easy for you to get care whenever you want. So you get care whenever you want, on your time and your own pace. And we save you money doing it too. So you can go to any home care provider today, and they'll probably charge you upward of $25. So in our system, you get charged about $20 to $25. And the biggest thing is very transparent. It's very flexible and transparent. The big thing you find out from family caregiver is extremely stressed. My mom is extremely stressed. She doesn't want to call in sick for work whenever she has to take grandpa to work, to the hospitals, but she does. So we significantly help them reduce stress. And family caregivers, they just want short-term break. So like my mom, she only just wants someone to, hey, I just want someone to take grandpa to the doctors today. It's not consistent, it's just whenever, it's not very frequent. And our business model, typically for like 1 to 3 hours, we charge about $25 an hour. We give our caregivers, our care providers, which is CNAs, HHA, 72%, depends on the hour. And Intellicare keeps about 28% to 30% of that. And the respite care market is very different from the home care market. It's a smaller percentage, it's about 6 billion. And we're looking at it in terms of all those 30 billion hours that's been provided by family caregiver. Can I show you guys the technology? So what typically happens are families that call us, and we have care managers on our team that we have care managers on our team that help these families create a care plan. What's your goal? What's your care plan? After we've helped them create it, pretty much they come into our platform. We'll give them the app. They come into our platform, and whenever they need care, they go in there, they click request care, they tell us, they select what date they need the service, it could be whatever, there's extreme flexibility with that. They say, hey, I need someone for Thursday, what time, and what hours you need. It could be 12 hours, or from 1 to 12 hours. And what services you need for that day. It could be transportation service, it could be companionship, it could be mobility service, medication reminders. They select what services they need for that appointment. And then we match them based on proximity, based on experience. So if your family has ALS and you need special skills, we match you to a caregiver that has those special skills. So we match you based on all those different selectives. And we match you on 5 different things. We match you based on this experience level of the caregiver, based on your family's caregiver care plan, and then we show you the 4 best, like based on location, who's closest to you, and we give you the 4 closest. And then you can select anyone. You can read a little bit about who they are, so you kind of get a feel of who they are. And we give you a little bio, their certification, and we also match based on language, so if you need any special skills. Sorry, it's not showing up here, but so there's a little video of the person. You can get a feel of who it is that's coming to your house, and then pretty much you just select who it is. And there's ways to, I'm sorry, it's not connecting properly. And then there's ways for you to kind of rate your care and rate your caregiver. I have to move to Q&A, sorry. Questions? Yes. So we have that same issues like any agency, home care agency does. Well, I think first thing first, we pay the best in the industry. So a typical CNA that works for another agency might be making about $12, $13 an hour. Like you see, we pay about $16 to $18 an hour. So we typically get maybe 100 application per recruitment period, and we only keep 10% of those people. So we're always trying to get the best. And we also have insurance. So we have $1 million insurance that if anything goes wrong, you can pretty much get back like that. I'm sorry? For our caregivers, we only hire people with CNAs and HHA certification. So you have to be in the industry for our average caregiver has been in the industry for about 3 to 4 years, and they all have to have a CNA and HHA. So we're significantly different from a care.com. So care.com, you go to care.com today, and they give you a list of 1,000 providers. You just want someone, they give you a list of 1,000 providers on screen, no background check, nothing. So you have to do all the work. So we've taken all the stress out of that whole process. So we manage it for you, and we only give you 4 selections. And these are people who, you go to care.com, your family member has ALS, you don't get that criteria. So we've done all the work for you, and we only give you the 4 best match. And you just have to kind of review and see who it is. Sure.
One of the problems that HomeJoy had was clients and providers abandoning the platform and just making private arrangements. So are you worried about that? And
no, but it's something that we've thought about very well. So a couple of things like we do, we have, like every client that comes into our system has a care manager. And it's very different from home care. So think about it, very different from home care. A home care provider wants, if you're home care, you need home care for your loved one, you probably need consistent care. Every day, 8 hours a day or 24 hours a day. Our system is very different. So you might need someone today, and you might not need someone for another month. You might not need someone for another 6 weeks, or you might need someone on Friday. So I think it's that difference in the service.
How do you support the employee base that you need with that kind of inconsistency? Do you have enough of a population that it's okay they're working one place and not another, or is that difficult?
I mean, that's a good question. So this is the front end for our clients. So we actually have 3 sides to this application. I can't show all of them, obviously, but we have another application for our caregivers. So they come in there, like they have all their, at what time they're available to work for that day. So that's how we screen based on availability. So if you come to our app, you need someone for the next 4 hours, we can tell right away who's available based on our caregivers' availability. Good question.
Is this something that's nationwide, and do they do it on a prepay?
So right now we're only in Boston. We just started about 6 months ago, so we're only in Boston, but the plan is obviously to expand. So we have different, we work with different schools, so like nursing schools and places like that, that we go on there, we have relationships with them. And most of our caregivers right now, they're in nursing programs, so they kind of just working for us while they're going through school. Yes, right now it's private pay. I think the uniqueness, so we've, so we started off doing this, but recently we've been approached by a Medicaid provider, and we are working some other things with Medicaid providers right now. But right now, as it is today, it's a private pay, but in the next few months it might change.
Do your caregivers work exclusively for you?
No, I think in this industry is very, caregivers work for multiple companies, so they're definitely not exclusive to us. I think the only thing that attracts them to us is that they get paid significantly